Germany, one of the first countries to reopen and the place that ruined tiny mustaches for the rest of us. One non-human victim of the coronavirus pandemic has been Germany's famous clubbing scene. But now, there's a new club for Germans who can't wait to get back to the dance floor, but still want to be responsible.
Well, the clubs are closed, but the beat goes on for partygoers at this drive-in rave in Germany. DJs pumped out the music to the car-bound crowd. Socially distant dancing was allowed with no more than 2 people per vehicle.
Jawohl! Because of Corona, Germans have started attending raves in their cars, which I guess explains the new options at their gas stations. And I can't wait to see all the new club dances that are going to be inspired by this. 10 und 2, 10 und 2, do the 10 und 2, come on y'all! But once again, Corona is making people appreciate the things that we used to hate. Because you realize right now, this is a drive-in rave. But before Corona, we just called that traffic. Yeah, look at that. You can't tell if it's a rave or just rush hour on the 405. So that's the party scene for adults in Germany. And the good news is, in China, kids can also get back to having fun too.
Disneyland in Shanghai just reopened today, and this could pave the way for Disney World in Orlando to reopen. Give you an idea of what to expect. The park in China is going to be kept at less than 30% capacity. Lines and rides are going to be spaced out to meet social distancing guidelines, and visitors will be screened for fevers. Characters also are no longer giving hugs or high fives, but visitors can still take selfies.
Yes! This is great news. Disneyland Shanghai is back in business, just with a few added safety measures, such as no hugging the characters, like Cinderella, Ariel, and Snow White. And I know that's really gonna suck for all the kids and their creepy dads. And I think staying away from Disney characters is a great idea, especially Donald Duck. I mean, that dude doesn't wear pants and he spits when he talks. It's like a one-man Corona factory. Now, if Disneyland wants me to come back, they gotta add even more precautions. I'm not playing with my life. First of all, Disneyland, you gotta get rid of the 7 dwarves. Yeah, I'm sorry, but Sneezy and Sleepy, those guys are not cute anymore. Those are just coronavirus symptoms. Oh, and also, from now on, I say that nobody should be allowed to open their mouth when they're screaming on a ride. You just gotta hold it in. And finally, in Canada, people still aren't able to go out and have fun. But one province is offering at least some help to families on lockdown. You see, the old rule was that you were only allowed to have contact with people in your household bubble, as it was called. But now, they're saying that families can choose to double bubble by pairing up with another family. Yeah, so each household will be allowed to hang out with members from another household, and you can only choose one family, and that decision is final. It's the perfect solution for all those people who are tired of screaming at their own family. Now you have a whole new family to scream at. And let's be honest, there's probably gonna never be a better time to bring your first family and your secret family together. Honey, I have to confess something. I have a secret family. What? So you telling me there's somewhere we could have gotten extra Purell this whole time and you didn't say anything? If I was in Canada, I would choose to live with Drake. Yeah, no one's thought of that. Have you seen the size of his house? It's so big, you could double bubble for months with that motherfucker and the two of you would never meet. Left side's yours, right side's mine. Justin Trudeau, Canada's Prime Minister and America's sexy upstairs neighbor. As Canada continues its battle against coronavirus, Trudeau has decided to become a little more hands-on.
Kids might be struggling a little bit with homework, but if they need a little help, there's somebody who's ready to step in.
Hey kids, I know we're all going through a difficult time right now, and it's not made any easier by the fact that you have to do your homework around the kitchen table. Well, as a teacher, I want to help. If you've encountered challenges or problems that are really tough and you need a little extra help with, why don't you reach out by responding to this message or using the hashtag.
Okay, this is just adorable. Justin Trudeau is going to help Canadian kids with their homework. This is the sort of thing you can only get away with if you're Prime Minister, because any other dude offering kids help on the internet, yeah, they're just getting a visit from the cops. And I really hope that he sticks to regular subjects like math and science, because the last thing we need is Trudeau branching out into makeup tutorials. But seriously though, this is great. In fact, I hope Trudeau inspires other world leaders to offer homework lessons. Like Vladimir Putin, he'd be amazing at math. Here is an easy way to solve math problem. You phone KGB, then poof, math problem disappear. And speaking of schoolwork, as countries around the world prepare to open up schools, the question is, how can they do it safely? Well, this viral video from China is giving us a glimpse of a possible future. All right, that process seems really effective, but sweet Lord, it took forever. I mean, goddamn. Throw in an avocado mask and you've got a full spa treatment. Oh, and by the way, this might work in China, but good luck trying this at an American school. All right, hold on everybody. I just want to spray your shoes real quick. Are you crazy, lady? These are the Air Jordan 5s. Just teach loud. I'll stand outside the window. Goddamn, she's trying to mess with my sneakers and shit. Meanwhile, here's some good news for New Yorkers who missed their old life from before the lockdown. Although New York City is at least a month away from reopening, the New York Public Library has released an album of all the authentic New York City noises that people haven't been able to hear for 2 months, including traffic noise, subways, construction, and even crowded streets. Although if they really wanted to be accurate, they should also include sounds of people booing the Knicks, a bike rider slamming into a car door, and then just 20 minutes of taxi drivers saying they won't go to Harlem, but they won't say why. You know why, but they won't say why. And by the way, I'm really impressed that a library is putting out this album. Because I mean, think about it. Noise is the sworn enemy of libraries. This is like a movie theater giving out free Netflix passwords. You know, you guys can watch this stuff at home. You don't really need to be here. And most people never would have thought they'd miss the sounds of New York, right? But that made us realize that maybe after quarantine is over, we're gonna miss the sounds of the lockdown too. So we put together a little album of our own just to help us remember.
One day, the pandemic will be over. But how will we remember these good times? Introducing the Sounds of Quarantine. We've compiled all the sounds that you'll miss when life goes back to normal. Sounds like family togetherness.
God damn it, can Daddy have 5 minutes to take a dump?
The neighbor's musical talents. Romance.
Why do you never want to have sex?
You haven't showered in weeks.
YouTube says Corona can come through the pipes.
Cleansing ritual.
Happy birthday, wash your hands. Happy birthday.
And teamwork.
Bill, can you hear me? Bill, you need to log back in. Shit, let's all just log back in.
So order your copy today and we'll send you a bonus track. Morning Recovery.
Daddy needs more time to poop.
Restaurants. You know, the place where someone takes you to break up with you when they could have just sent you a text. I don't understand how we went halvesies for the meal, but I paid fully for the heartbreak, Sheila. Health officials say that when restaurants reopen in the age of Corona, people will need to sit a few feet apart from each other for safety. But the question is, how do we do that? Well, one of the country's top restaurants has come up with an imaginative way to avoid the awkwardness of having a bunch of empty seats.
Well, some places that we go, you know, social distancing can feel a little awkward, like maybe lots of empty spaces in a restaurant, for example. So a North Virginia restaurant is filling in the missing people with mannequins. The Inn at Little Washington, which is a renowned fancy place, I have learned, 3 Michelin stars, will soon open for half capacity, likely at the end of the month. But the empty tables will feature these frozen friends in vintage 1940s style outfits.
Yes, if eating in a half-empty restaurant makes you uncomfortable, now you have the option of eating in the final scene of a horror movie. Much more relaxing. Also, how bad would you feel if you're eating alone and then you look over and you see that even the guy made out of plastic was able to get a date? And look, I get what this restaurant was trying to do, but I think they went too far when they also used mannequins to occupy all the bathroom stalls. Excuse me, what's taking so long in there? Come on! I gotta get back to my table. I think Sheila's gonna propose. I mean, why else would she bring me here? Why would someone bring you here if they're not gonna propose? You know who's probably really gonna love this restaurant? Mark Zuckerberg. Wow, everyone at this place is so lifelike. Bartender, A round of shots for my fellow humans. Speaking of the Zuck, Facebook, the world's largest social network, and elderly TikTok, is bringing millions of users together in a really unexpected way.
More than 1 million people are spending time during quarantine pretending to be ants.
So this Facebook group is called Group Where We All Pretend to Be Ants in a Colony. Look at one of the posts here. Ants crawling on ice cream. One person says, munch with me and then take some to the queen. You can see the comments say, nom, slurp, and lift to queen.
Okay, this is really interesting. To take their minds off of the stress of Corona, millions of Facebook users are pretending to be ants. And you thought you were the only one in quarantine feeling a little antsy. Back to you, Sandra. Look, man, I get it. Who wouldn't want to live the carefree life of an ant, right? You just spend all your time carrying crumbs 5,000 times your body weight until the day some asshole kid steps on you because he's bored. Sounds like a dream. Now, I know a lot of people are just having fun, but please remember, whenever there's something really fun on Facebook, there's a good chance it's created by the Russians. Let's all pretend to be ants. We bring sugar to Queen, then we not vote for Joe Biden. And finally, here's another way people are keeping from going crazy during this pandemic. Taking the coronavirus outside and beating the crap out of it.
Well, this strange sight showed up in a backyard in Aledo. What is it? It's a COVID-19 piñata, of course. Jennifer Wursel tells us a friend made it for her son's 18th birthday last weekend. Well, apparently, people like the idea of using a piñata for some stress release and a few laughs. ABC Party in Oak Cliff, known for the colorful piñatas it makes to celebrate special occasions, has added the coronavirus piñata to its lineup.
We can dress it for different occasions, like our kids that didn't get to have a graduation, we're going to put a cap and maybe put a gown on it so that they can just hit it and get their frustration out.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People are making corona piñatas and showing the virus who's boss. Except instead of candy, a bunch of hydroxychloroquine pills falls out. Self-medication! But here's a tip. If you've got coronavirus strung up, make sure to interrogate it before you destroy it. We need to find out its secrets. Who sent you? Are you the Chinese virus or are you the European virus? Or do people just change your name depending on their political affiliations? Huh? I just pray that Trump doesn't see one of these videos because you know he's going to propose it at the next briefing. And I saw some people using sticks to destroy the coronavirus. Maybe we can put sticks inside people. Maybe we shrink down the sticks and beat the coronavirus inside the bodies. Can we check that out? Is that something we can do? So go out there, have some fun, and smash a corona piñata. Just whatever you do, don't use a bat, because corona loves bats. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Canada, the only country where syrup has legal rights, and where one family found love in a hopeless place.
Carolyn Ellis wasn't going to let coronavirus restrictions stop her from giving her mom a big hug on Mother's Day. She and her husband created what they called the Hug Glove in their backyard in Ontario, Canada. It is a plastic sheet with sleeves in it to allow hugs while preventing direct contact. Ellis says she and her mother were in tears, but it's hard to say if they were tears of joy, tears of laughter, or maybe a little bit of both.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to cry, but this is the sweetest story of a grandma in a full-body condom that I've ever heard. Seriously though, this is a heartwarming invention. And it's wonderful for that family, and it's also wonderful for shower curtains. Because think about it, normally, shower curtains see us at our worst. We're naked, we're cleaning our butts, we're singing off-key. But now, this one shower curtain got outside to see that humans, we're not all bad. So I think this is a really sweet idea. Although, it won't take long for people to start using it for the wrong reasons, right? I mean, now grandmas are getting hugs, but soon, two guys out at the bar are just gonna be like, what did you say to me? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Get into the plastic, man. Let's handle this shit like men. Get into the plastic. Moving on. There's no denying that one thing we miss the most right now is traveling. Seeing new places, visiting your family, fleeing to a country without extradition. Well, now there's a new company that gives you a little taste of travel right at home.
Just because you're stuck at home doesn't mean you can't get some airline food. The aptly named company Imperfect Foods is selling the snacks previously given to airline customers and passengers. The company is dedicated to eliminating food waste. So for just $3 a package, you can enjoy the JetBlue crackers and cheese.
Yes, if you've been craving pulverized crackers and cheese that tastes like a pencil eraser, well, this is your lucky day. And you know, I hope they don't stop at airline food. Because in my dream world, for an extra fee, they'll also send someone with a strong body odor to sit on my couch and fight me for my own armrest. I feel like I'm on vacation already. For real though, guys, who in their right mind would think airplane food is the thing that people miss most about air travel? Huh? Who wants that? This would be like if Coachella tried to recreate the festival experience by sending you dust and a porta potty. It's just like I'm there. And finally, do you sometimes wish that you could say, screw safety, I'm just gonna grab all my friends and run wild through the streets? Well, it turns out you're not the only one.
Invasion of the goats. That was the scene in one neighborhood after a herd of goats got loose. The goats managed to knock over an electric fence and took a leisurely stroll through the streets. Neighbors had to open up a side gate and lead the goats back where they were supposed to be. Nobody was hurt, but there was some minor damage.
Hey! Go.
Holy shit. Did you see that? Not one of those goats is wearing a mask. Oh, Fauci's not gonna be happy. I will say though, those goats are tempting fate running through the streets like that when there's a meat shortage in the country. Yeah, because they can run wild in the suburbs, but if they try that shit in the Bronx, my Jamaican peeps will turn them into a curry like that.
What is? Look here, a first-time goat deliver themselves this. Who ordered goat meats?
But look, man, it's clear to see what's happening here. Humans have stayed inside for too long, and now animals have forgotten who's boss. And you realize what that means when lockdown is over? We're gonna have to fight them to take back our streets. Yeah, as soon as quarantine ends, the first goat I see, I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, goat! Get into the plastic, we handling this like men!